Hello, I'm Dr. Ana Barac. I'm a cardiologist and I'm the chair of the American Heart Association statement on defining cardiovascular endpoints in oncology trials. Dr. Guha.
Hi everyone, I'm Avirup Guha. I'm the vice chair of the same statement, and we have been incredibly lucky to work with several of our colleagues, including world-renowned statisticians, several of our colleagues from the world of cancer who have done phase 3 clinical trials, and our colleagues from the FDA who gave very nice perspectives on how regulatory science plays into making this statement. And we would definitely like to thank ASCO for giving the support towards this scientific statement.
All right. So we said we wanted to start with saying why with this statement. We live in a world where the oncology outcomes or cancer outcomes have been really transformed by the numerous new oncology therapies. And through them, we've increasingly learned that they often have cardiovascular side effects. And the critical time to capture those cardiovascular outcomes is during clinical trials. But we have not kept up with the contemporary advances of cardiology world in capturing those outcomes in oncology trials. So we needed new tools, standardized tools, and that's how our statement came about. You want to tell us about the process?
Absolutely. So, with all the firepower in our writing group, we had so much ideas we had to discuss initially, and then put together all of the work which has been done by the field of cardio-oncology and oncology and cardiology to get to the point of how endpoints are defined, and then to see the mechanisms which has been worked on by our basic science and translational colleagues in the field of cardiology and cardio-oncology to have mechanism-defined endpoints which work towards individualizing how endpoints would be designed for each individual trial where novel therapies are being tested. We're also lucky to have perspectives from our colleagues from the FDA, so we were able to keep the endpoints within the realms of what would be considered legitimate when it goes to running the trial. With that, I think it's very important for you to tell us what does this mean for our patients, our colleagues in the field of trial, and for clinicians.
Great points. I think we wanted to convey the three key takeaways. One is standardization matters. We need to stay true to the developments in both oncology and cardiology and standardize the capture of cardiovascular events in oncology trials. That will help with adjudication, interpretation, Second, integration matters. So we have to have the same standards and approach depending on the scope of the trial, using and integrating the contemporary definitions into oncology trials. And finally, perhaps the most important is patient matters. So there has been tremendous development in the work, and we have been really fortunate, as you said, to work with the Food and Drug Administration, where they are having specific efforts on how to integrate patient-guided endpoints, patient-reported outcomes into clinical trials, and we embedded that into our document. So with these three driving principles, I think that we really created an impactful document.
Absolutely. I mean, this document is going to be very impactful going forward with several oncological trials where all these novel therapies are being tested, and patients are surviving longer to have some of these cardiovascular issues as well, which we are going to very well define when it comes to the actual conduction of trials. I would definitely bring to everyone's notice that we worked very closely with ASCO. The ASCO Educational Committee is endorsing the statement, and we would like to thank our vice chair, Dr. Neeraj Agarwal, who's a phase 3 senior trialist in the field of prostate cancer, who made this connection very much possible. And with that, Anna, do you have any final words for our audience?
Yes, I do. It's all about collaboration. Read the statement, take it to the next level, and keep working on it.